As you may have noticed, fuel prices are a lot cheaper at the moment. The reason for this is that the lockdown in many countries, oil consumption has decreased. Logically, you may now also expect oil producers to decrease production to match demand. However, the opposite has happened, and there is now an oversupply of oil on the market, leading to prices being pushed lower and lower. Here's why.
The Saudi oil gambit.
In early March, OPEC convened a meeting to call for oil production cuts among themselves and OPEC Plus nations. The two big players in this negotiation were Moscow and Riyadh, the latter being the de facto head of OPEC. There was a call to reduce production by 1.5 million barrels a day, but Moscow rejected this. In response, Riyadh increased production by 2.6 million barrels, with Moscow responding, increasing production by 300,000 barrels a day, as an attempt not to lose market share. Moscow would increase more, but their production infrastructure does not have any more capacity. The reason Riyadh increased its production is because it was losing money and the other producers were not. This is because in the United States, producers break even at $40 a barrel, and Moscow balanced its budget at also $40 a barrel. So they will not be in any trouble until the price goes under this. This is in contrast to many OPEC members who have balanced their budgets at much higher prices of oil, with Riyadh balancing its budget at $84 a barrel. Saudi Arabia's philosophy was that if it's losing money, everyone else should be as well. So with every producer pumping in max production to gain market share, the price plummeted to around $20 a barrel. The price war had begun. This will go on until a production cut agreement is reached, where supply is restricted enough to match demand. The problem with this happening is that it is hard for producers to reach a market share agreement, due to most producers wanting to maximize their market share. Another possible end to this is forcing producers to go under, as they cannot sustain an endured low price. This has already happened to US producer Whiting Petroleum Corporation, who were not backed by the government like Russian and Saudi Arabian producers are. Since Moscow and Riyadh are the biggest players and have the largest foreign exchange reserves to dip into, we will look at them to see how long this can last. As of January 2020, Moscow had $562.3 billion in reserves, funded by high oil prices in the past years, and Riyadh had $501.8 also funded by high oil prices, but money has also come from the IPO of the world's largest listed company, Saudi Aramco. Both countries have saved for this exact reason, as their economy is susceptible to oil shock due to their high degree of exposure to the market. Both countries have some of the cheapest extraction costs in the world, with comparable cost if you get rid of taxes, as that goes to the government anyways. This puts Moscow in the better position, as they can withstand lower prices than Riyadh, due to not banking its budget too much on high oil prices. The outcome of this is that many oil-producing countries that have balanced their budget against the price of oil will be close to defaulting on their loans due to the double whammy of low oil prices and lockdown that has hit their economy, with the IMF reporting that 102 out of 189 member countries are asking for support and debt suspension. However, the most interesting outcome is the shifts that have happened and are going to happen in the oil market. The United States oil industry has made commitments to lower production to an amount which they will stop exporting oil. This will keep the United States pumps going enough to keep 10 million Americans employed, as well as keep the industry that holds 7% of the United States GDP running. This commitment is all part of a deal brokered by Donald Trump, where he is keeping jobs for Americans for his upcoming re-election, but is resigning the United States of America to a smaller market share. Moscow and Riyadh have also negotiated contracts to lower oil production and are soon to be cutting production to raise the price. Both are happy with this outcome, however, as the American threat has been neutralized for now. At this very moment, only around 10 million barrels have been cut, but analysis says this is not enough, as a cut of 20 to 30 million barrels is needed to raise prices again. So in the meantime, prices will remain low as Moscow and Riyadh take austerity measures to help them prolong their survival in the price war. In the meantime, make sure to fill up your car, as prices won't be cheap forever. World governments are certainly using this opportunity to fill up their reserves.